Meeting to order at 7:30, please. Start out with roll call again. Mr. Pasalis?
Here.
Mr. Bober?
Here.
Mr. Horn?
Here.
Mr. Simons?
Here.
Mr. Boda?
Here.
Mr. Arnold's excused. Mr. Randolph here. Would you start with pledge of allegiance, Mr. Bober, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Has everyone had an opportunity to look at the minutes from October 15th?
Correction.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, on page 1, where we appointed President Pro Tem,
Yes?
okay, it has Treasurer Horn currently, it should be, or as Trustee Horn, it should be Treasurer Boda.
You're right, Donald.
I have nothing else.
I move we accept the minutes as amended. Support.
I have a motion and support to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Okay, next thing on the agenda is public comment. You people have something you'd like to say to the board? Go ahead, ma'am. If you've got something to say, please, we're on television, so could you go to the podium? Is there something particular you want?
I just wanted to ask about property lots and when you have a landlocked.
Then go up here, please. Just state your name and make your comment or ask your question.
Okay, I'm Nancy Hill. I have property on Elmwood, and my property in the back is landlocked. And I wanted to know if there's any way of opening that up. I bought up to Detroit Edison in the back on one side, and I amended the property lots, stakes, when I had it staked out, because everybody's lines were not where they were supposed to be because everything was done at different degrees. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, kind of, yes.
Okay. So I did that, and when I did that, it bottlenecked the properties that I had, the two lots, making it smaller. So I didn't know if there's a way of opening that up.
I believe you would have to go and talk to the assessor. He would tell you exactly what you could do and how you would have to do it. Has anybody got any other comments on that? It would have to be done through the assessor.
What do you want to do? You made the lots, now you want to split them?
No, when I bought it, it's done up, it's really weird looking. It has like a stair-step effect, and it bottles up, it's triangular, and then it comes to a big square in the back. And, well, my son was interested in possibly putting a building back in that area, and I didn't know if it was going to be possible.
He would have to have, he'd have to have right of way through your property. If it's going through your property to get to his property, I know he'd have to have right of way through there. There'd have to be some right of way going through there for a driveway or something. And there might even have to be, and I think you have to be so wide before you can even do that.
Well, yeah, that's where
Property has to have
where I
a
was
certain
talking
size.
about the bottlenecking, because when I amended the property lines, because of all the different, I'm sorry, angles that they had for everything that went from way back to make it so that everybody's driveways were where they had put them.
Rather than give you an answer that may be wrong or confuse you more, what I would suggest is that you come in and see Mark Miano, the assessor. He's here in the afternoons, and just give a call ahead of time in the morning and let him know that you're coming in. He will be here. Come in and talk to him, and he'll tell you exactly what you have to do and if it's possible.
Okay.
His name is Mark Miano.
All right.
Okay? So call the office and make arrangements to come in and see him.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know. There becomes really goofy at times. So some properties you can only do it if it's 125 feet wide and all this sort of stuff. So I don't know. More than likely that what's can happen, but I didn't want to say that. Yeah, I could have told you what you need is probably the width of the driveway. You'd have to give up that in your property so you can get back there. But I don't want to tell you that because I'm not sure that's the answer. I could be telling you some false information. I wouldn't want to do that. So he would be able to tell you more correctly, okay? All right, we have a consent agenda tonight, Park Commission minutes for October 10th, 2012, and Planning Commission minutes for October 9th, 2012. Incidentally, you don't have to stay if you don't want to, but you're more than welcome to stay. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as presented, if there's no questions on it.
I'll support.
Okay, I got a motion by Mr. Simon, supported by Mr. Pacellis. Any other comments or questions? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
All against? Fine, it passes. Tonight we have, why don't I have it on my sheet here? The total of the expenditures. Okay, tonight we have expenditures of payroll of $29,390.04. ACH payments of $46,370.98. Bills of $151,502.76, and total distribution of $227,263.78.
I'll make a motion, we pay the bills in the amount of $227,263.78.
Support.
Got a motion by Mr. Bodis, supported by Mr. Simons. Any other comments or questions at this time? If not, roll call. Roll call, Mr. Pacellis.
Yes.
Mr. Bober.
Yes.
Mr. Horn.
Yes.
Mr. Simons.
Yes.
Mr. Boda.
Yes.
Mr. Randolph, yes, that passes. Thank you. Does anyone have any member reports that I do not have on here?
I could report a little bit about the Marine City Fire Board.
Yes, please, go ahead.
The Marine City Fire Board, we met, and then we had a special meeting. I'll mostly talk about the special meeting. We had to talk about reviewing the fire chief by the end of the year, his 6-month review is part of his hiring process. So we sat down with the chief and gave him an interview and tried to see, if he met his goals that we wanted to, and then we're gonna come back at our next meeting and discuss what our findings were. We also hired another officer in the fire department. It's called a Sergeant 2, and he will be, in the pecking order, he'll be the junior officer, but he'll help with the on-call for the weekends, which they're finding, they have to have an officer that's fully qualified that can go out, run the rigs on the weekend. It'll just help. I believe the position pays $3,400. That total is, he was being paid as a fireman too, so it isn't actually
Right.
all that money. But, in essence, the people are realizing what Tucker did all these years. He did a lot
Did
of.
more than what they thought
Dickie
he did.
Tucker did a lot of coverage on on his own. At the first meeting at the beginning of the year, we were gonna elect the officers. That was a change. We were electing the officers, what was it, Don, like in October or something?
Yeah, right.
And then we changed it now to the first meeting after the first of the year, of every year, they will elect the officers for the fire authority, which makes more sense because like now, if we'd elected officers, and then we'd had to do it again if they didn't all, because a lot of the people on the board are elected officials, so if we elected one and he didn't get reelected, then we'd have to have another election. So we decided, being as though we're still in our infancy with the fire board, that we would put that into our bylaws at the first meeting of every new year, we will elect officers.
Do they have the same as St. Clair, that like every entity has 2 or possibly 3 members? Can they be citizen members, or does
They
one?
can. The way it works is, it's Marine City, Cotterville, China, and East China are the Marine City Fire Authorities, and each get 2 people.
All right.
2 representatives from each municipality, and the municipality with the most fire runs gets the third tie-breaking person.
Right, yeah,
So Marine City normally has the highest runs.
right.
Cotterville's getting up there.
Okay, but if East China, for instance, gets 2 on that
They
board,
don't have to be elected officials.
neither one of them?
I don't think they have.
Because the St. Clair Authority, one of them has to be an elected
Oh,
official.
really? I
And the other
have
one
to
can be a
double
citizen.
check that.
Okay,
I know Marine City has Lisa Hendricks, who is the elected, and Howard Draft and Steve McConnell.
okay.
And Cotterville has Raymond and Tom White Knight, who is not an elected official.
Okay.
China
I-
has 2 elected, and we have Don and myself,
Yeah, I think they can be,
but don't have to be.
right, right. Thank you.
And with
Anybody got any
that, that
questions?
concludes
Is that
what
all?
I have, yeah.
Does anybody got any questions for Larry? Seeing none? All right, going into new business. The first thing under new business is a memo from the office manager about part-time help. I was not involved in that conversation, but Mr. Boda was. So Don, would you like to handle this, please?
Sure. Okay, I've had 3 meetings with, 2 of the girls in the office. I had one meeting with Teresa, I had another meeting with Sandy Smith, and then I had a meeting with both Teresa and Sandy. There was some problems with the, workload of the billings for both the water and doing the tax bills. And there was some other problems. I sat down and tried to get them straightened out. I think we pretty much got that, where we decided to try and find someone that can come in and either be taught, or I shouldn't say taught, but trained to do the water bills, or somebody that was familiar with the water bills. Fortunately, Sandy knew somebody. China Township evidently has a part-time girl out there that does the water billing for China Township, and which was perfect for the needs that we needed for the water billing here. I asked Sandy if she could contact her and see if she'd be interested in coming here, either morning or afternoon, whichever she was working, it'd be the opposite. So Sandy contacted her, and it turns out that she would be willing to go ahead to come here in the mornings, because she works out in China Township in the afternoons. So she would come here in the mornings to start doing the water billing, to help do the water billing, and so Teresa can caught up on that, or give that portion of it to her so she can get started on tax billing. And the girl that's coming, her name is Corinne, is that correct? Yeah, Corinne Garwood is her name. She would come in for 15 hours a week at $12 per hour to assume the utility billing duties. And that would become effective on Wednesday, the day after the election. That'd be on Wednesday, November the 7th. She would come in and start working. So, I say she currently works part-time out in China as a utility billing clerk, and,
I'm sorry.
Sure.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, what's the time frame? Is this going to be a temporary thing, or is it gonna be like a ongoing thing for year? You're doing it for a year, you're doing it for,
well, I think,
No time limit at this point.
pardon?
There's no time limit
Okay.
at this point.
You don't have a,
It's considered a part-time position.
okay.
Don, wouldn't it be better just to let Teresa work overtime a little bit and
I'm
catch
sorry?
up? Wouldn't it be better to let Teresa work overtime and catch up on her work,
well,
rather than hire someone?
The trouble is, Don.
I suppose you could, but
She's getting farther behind, she's not getting caught up.
Well, at $16 an hour, 15 hours a week, that's $180 a week. So that's a lot of overtime.
Question.
Go ahead, sir.
Has this been budgeted for?
No.
No.
and it was last year, and that deal fell through. Her wages will be paid out of the water and sewer fund. That's where her pay will come from. On the water and sewer budgets.
I was just wondering if conversations took place about that $7,500, almost $8,000, that she would be paid.
If she worked the whole year. If she worked a total of 15 hours a week at $12 an hour.
Yeah, that's what I figured out. That was 50 weeks of $7,500.
This has all come up after the budget, that's why it hasn't been budgeted.
I have a couple questions also. Vacation and holidays. I remember back in 2007, when we were gonna bring Sue Rosiniak in, there was no vacation and no holiday pays. When we were gonna bring in the park commission, the park director last year, she was coming in for $12 an hour straight, coming in. I think it's kind of a slap in her face that she had to beg to get $12 just how it is, and now we're gonna bring in somebody else at $12 an hour and give them vacation, and give them holidays, and give them sick days. We didn't do it in 2007 with Sue Rosiniak, and I don't see no reason why. I mean, we don't even know, is this lady working 3 hours a day, 5 days a week? Is she working 3 days a week, 6 hours a day? If she's working every other day, what if the holiday falls on a day she's not working?
That's the question
Then
I
she wouldn't get paid for the holiday.
Okay,
So
well,
if she's scheduled to work, and if she works a 3-hour day, normally she's planned to work 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, then her holiday pay would
Sandy,
be 3 hours.
excuse me, could you come to the podium,
Sure.
please?
Jack, isn't that part of Sandy's contract, billing?
Like I
and,
said, I wasn't involved in this, Don, I don't know, it's,
In the billing and, taxes?
Actually, I offered to take over part of the taxes for Teresa. We discussed that, Don and I, and Don's suggestion was to have someone come in and take over part of the utility billing that has,
If it's in your contract,
been
I
doing
believe you
that.
should be doing it.
I don't have a contract, Don, I'm an employee, like everyone else.
Yeah,
she had job description, Don, but not a contract, correct?
she
Got
wa-
Yeah.
job-
I
yes,
just
job
don't
description.
understand why in 2007 Sue Rosiniak did not get no vacation and holiday pay. Why Deanna didn't get it last year. Why would we give it to this employee coming in this year?
Well, it was more like an afterthought. When Deanna was coming in, it was a matter of her taking the current pay that she's already being paid and just moving her in and letting her do duties and help Teresa, assist Teresa.
Well, why can't we do the same thing with Corinne? Just bring her
Well,
in
we
$12
can.
an hour?
It's up to you. It's your vote. This is what I'm proposing. I think someone that works over a year should be entitled to some benefits. It's not much. It's a holiday. If she works a 3-hour day, it's a 3-hour pay. I mean, that's after a
I'm just
year.
looking as a board member, Sandy, we have to be consistent with what we do and how we do things. And if we're not gonna do it in 2007, we're not gonna do it in 2011, I don't think we should do it in 2012.
That's
It's
fine.
just to be consistent, is all I'm saying.
That's fine.
Because it's not fair to the people we did not hire in.
Could I make one comment? I'm not warm and fuzzy about this, but I'm not going to be the board who's going to be sitting here in a month, okay? And I'm just throwing this out on the table that maybe you want to table this until the new board comes, and then you can sit down and hash all of that out with that board, rather than us making a decision that somebody else is going to have to live with.
Personally, I'd rather not table it because she's falling further behind on the billings and we still have the taxes to go yet.
Taxes
That's
go out
the reason why I met with them, and this is the reason why we came to this point.
December 1st, tax bills go out.
Could we let her work overtime for the couple of weeks until the new board sits?
Couple of weeks isn't going to do it. Teresa's water billings normally goes out the 20th of every month. Last month's didn't go out yet. She'll be lucky to get it out by Friday. And then she's going to have to start prepping for the tax bills. That's why it's coming now, because we wanted to take care of it before the tax bills come out and we get a handle on things.
Whose job is it to do the taxes?
Deputy Treasurer.
It is the treasurer, deputy treasurer? I mean, and what I don't understand is if you offered to do it, and you're being paid here, and evidently you have time to do it, or you wouldn't offer to do it, why are we bringing in somebody else to do it? I know you're doing the water billing is what you're directing her to do. I know it's not a great sum of money that we're spending here. The last sentence in the thing here says it could be up to 40 hours.
20. 15 to 20
Is that,
in the job description. We
Says
wouldn't
15
work
to
her
20.
40 hours.
it'd be less than 40 hours, but we're talking 15 hours as well.
15 is what we're
I mean, if
expecting.
it goes from 15 to 30, that's doubled. So, when I'm saying that, $8,000 went to 16 if she's here, more than the 15 hours. And, yeah, we haven't budgeted for it, but I'm sure we could find that sum of money.
Well, it's coming out of the water and sewer
But you're
budgets.
coming out of the water and sewer budget. All right.
That's where it would come from.
And we'll have to raise the water rates again later.
Answer my, answer that. I don't think we'd have to, Mr. Horn. That wouldn't predicate
Well,
reason.
we got a letter in here from Stewart, Bovee, and Whipple that wanna, go through the rates to see if we are stable enough. That's in our agenda tonight.
Yeah, that's what, they do that every year, Don. They come in, if you recall, every year they come into this meeting and Larry comes in and he says, this is what's been going on, this is how the audit went, and things are going up, so I suggest that you raise the water rates by 25 cents or 50 cents or whatever it has been. In fact, we've asked him to come in. They've just put it in writing now because they're doing it for China also. But again, I don't know what is in the water and sewer budget, Don. Is there adequate enough money in there to do that?
I believe there is, yeah.
Has there been discussions at the board level here, whether or not there's money at this?
Sewer
Water and sewer
Yeah.
board?
I don't know. I don't go to that board meeting.
Well, let me just put forward, this is what after the meetings I had with the girls, came up with the idea that she's falling so far behind. This is an idea that I had. This is why I brought it to the board. I'm asking the board. Sandy wrote the memo on it. But that's why I'm coming to the board with it. That's why I can get things rolling back in there again so things aren't running late. This is the solution I came up with. It's up to the board to decide what they want to do.
Don, I came in here one day and Sandy Doctor was on a vacation. Sandy Smith came in and she stayed here for about a half an hour, I guess, and left. And Teresa had to take care of the whole office. Now, how could she do her job and take care of the office at the same time? These are the things.
I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm just telling you what
Maybe there was vacation time taken, Don. You just happened to be standing there when, people have sick time or vacation time or.
Sure, if one of the girls, or if the girl's on a break, if Sandy Doctor's on a break or something, and the phone rings.
Everybody fills in.
Then everybody kind of fills in. Teresa answers the phone. If somebody comes in while they're on a break, Teresa goes to the lobby, the desk, counter.
There are times when two people end up being off at the same time. Something comes up, people have families, things happen, we work it out. We never leave less than two people. We cover each other. Things are gonna happen like that.
Sure.
You have 4 people in the office.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see it just wait until the new board come in and let the new board discuss it. We're gonna have 3 new members.
I think what Mr. Bode is saying, Don, is the fact that they can't wait until the new board comes in because they want her to start like
We're falling further
this.
behind, Don, is what I'm saying.
So the next thing we'll have to do is waiver the late fee on the water bills if they keep going farther behind.
Well, she's postdating the due dates to compensate for it.
Teresa's working constantly on all these billings, but she's still falling further behind because she's got quite a workload, plus the taxes. I really don't want to waste another month.
Well, it's either, I assume part of her duties, which after the elections, things will slow down this winter a little bit, where I could pick up some of that, or we get someone for utility billing. Don's solution was the utility billing. I mean,
Is this just to get us over the hump, or is this gonna be a permanent?
personally, it's gonna, from what I see, the workload and how far she is behind and everything, I would say at least 6 months to a year. Till she could get caught up. There's gonna have to
Well, the
be
only thing
some
I'm
other
saying is,
changes, but
being that a number of us are gonna be here for the next board, and not knowing what our budget's gonna be, I hate to commit to bringing on another employee on a long-term type thing, which I can bring them on for a short term, I can understand that. But we may end up cutting off hours in there for the people we have. I mean, if we don't have the money, it's gonna be a balanced budget one way or the other. And manpower is gonna be something that's gonna have to be dealt with. I mean, it's just the way I see it. And I appreciate Don doing all this work and figuring it out, and maybe that's a very good idea to do it that way, but I don't wanna sign into a long-term agreement with this. I mean, we're gonna be fine with the budget we have right now that we're gonna approve here later for this year. But as far as going to a full-time, I think if it should be reviewed within 6 months or a year, or one way or the other, to see if it's working, and maybe it isn't even gonna work, I don't know.
Has she been informed of any specific time frame? You know, like she's coming in part-time, she's agreed to work part-time, does she think she's gonna work 3 months, 6 months, a year, 10 years?
No, there's no time frame.
She doesn't have any expectation?
No.
Maybe it's as most part-time people, they know there's gonna be a limit of time on this.
Well, that's what I'm getting at, you know, if she had any expectations about it.
What happened this year that we got so far behind? I mean, I've been on this board 12, 13 years, we've never had this. What has happened? The same girls have worked here, we have less houses now, so there's less water billing. We have less things that we're going through. What happened this year?
There's a big turnover in homes. People call for final water bills, a lot of finals all day long. We get 3-4 final requests a day lately. Well, over the last probably 6 months, even the year. She used to do work orders, those go to DPW. Everything has just gotten a lot of paperwork and a lot of, you know, and then with the tax bills are twice a year, and it's just a lot of volume at certain times. You know, tax bills are July 1st, December 1st. That goes on for 2-3 months at a time, so there's a good 6 months there that we're slammed, all of us. And I feel at this point, we're getting farther and farther behind. We're not giving good customer service. Because if people have to wait 2 weeks for a final water bill when they're trying to close on their house, and we just can't, she can't.
I understand, but with revenues going down, payments going up, I mean, at some point, we're gonna run ourselves in trouble. At some point, we're gonna get ourselves in trouble. So, I mean, I can understand what you're saying, but our revenues are gonna be less. So,
Well, those are the solutions we came up with, either with myself, assuming some, or Corinne doing water billing, taking a part of it and just taking it off her lap.
My suggestion is just let her work overtime until the new board, and let the new board come in and.
Don, the problem with that is, Teresa has 4 kids at home. She's taking care of her parents. She needs to get out of here by 4:30 every night. If after she works an 8-hour day, she doesn't need to be sitting in here till 8:30, 9 o'clock at night on overtime.
Her health will go bad on her quick.
She already is. There's a lot of concerns. There's a lot going on in
There's some
people's
personal
lives.
issues here that we're not, and we
There's-
shouldn't even be talking about.
Right, I mean, we're not talking a little bit of time's gonna make
That's
all
not
this up.
That's not a feasible
We're
solution.
behind, way behind.
Is it not? That's not a feasible solution.
I don't think so.
Just a thought.
Because like I said, her parents, both, I understand are both sick right now, especially her mother, I understand, is quite sick.
Well,
She's got the kids, I mean, she's got a lot on her mind.
A lot of demands
Just suffices
on her
that it's
personal
not,
time.
it's not feasible at this point. Did you
I
have
don't
something
think
to
the
say?
overtime solution would work here, because like I said, she just has too many other things on her mind, and she's gotta get out of here by 4:30 so she can go home and take care of her folks.
I don't
and her
know.
kids.
I can understand that, but I get the impression when you have the full description showing that after a 1-year anniversary, you're talking about vacation days. This doesn't sound like it's going to be a 3-month or a 6-month employment. This sounds
I
like
think
it's.
what it is we don't know if it's gonna be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or a year. If it happens to go out to a year, then she would pick up these other things. Is she gonna go out to a year? We don't know.
Well,
I
underst-
don't know.
Most
I understand
likely.
that, but what I would suggest is that we put in a review after
6 months.
3 months or 6 months, whatever the board decides.
I think there will be after 90 days, Richard, with that probationary employment area there. Correct?
3 months is not gonna do it.
No, I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
There's a probationary period for 90 days anyway.
Right.
And you just stated it won't be 3 months, it's gonna be at least 6 months.
At least 6
6
months.
months to a
Is this
year.
compatible with what she makes in China?
Yes, it's the same.
And she doesn't do water billing in China?
Yes, she does. And she did in Marine City.
I thought we did the water billing for China.
No, she does their own customers. They have one section, or I think it's one section she does.
But we read the meter.
Our DPW do all the service.
Well, any, if there's no other discussion, can I have a motion one way or the other, please?
I'll make a motion, we take and hire, Carl Red and Garwood for 15 hours per week. With an unknown expiration date.
With the vacation and holiday pay and everything in there?
I guess I have a hard time with that too, with, you know, with the benefits for a part-time employee.
Well, we have another part-time employee that we do not give those benefits to, which Angela mentioned, is Deanna in the park. She's a part-time, she works up to like 32 hours. She gets no benefits at all. She makes $12 an hour. To me, that would really be like Angela said, a slap in her face. I mean, I guess I would be in favor if we reviewed this in 6 months to see where we're at that time, where we're at, where the billing's coming, if that's enough, or how we're doing with it. I think 6 months would give us a window to know that we're gaining on the water bill.
Well, no, certainly if she can do the billing and so forth, as long as she's getting them done.
Is that part of the motion? To have a 6-month review on
6-month
that?
review, I think that's on here anyways.
No, 90 days.
No, that's
90
90
days.
days.
That's just probationary, yes.
I would think that, honestly, I think we should not give the holidays,
No benefit.
No benefits.
vacation or holidays or sick time pay, because most part-time employees I know don't get them.
I don't think we
And
give any of the
park-
summer help.
The park girl, what was her name?
Deanna.
Deanna.
So your motion is, and to go with, 15 hours a week, between 15 and 20 hours a week,
$12 an hour.
at $12 an hour for a time period that is not limited
We'll
at
have a
this
six-
point
we
with
have a
no
6-month
benefits.
Have a 6-month review,
That's reasonable.
and then with no,
No benefits.
vacation, no benefits, no vacation, holiday, or sick time pay.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second to that?
I'll support that.
Okay, we have is there any other discussion before we vote?
This is just for 6 months is what we're talking about, or just a review.
6 months, no holiday pay, 15 to 20 hours a week at $12 an hour.
Be reviewed at 6 months. It's not
Reviewed.
limited to
Reviewed at
6
6
months.
months.
Right,
Could be terminated at 6 months.
right.
What if it don't last 6 months?
Then that's fine
That
too.
don't last.
That's fine too.
Then we review it earlier?
No, they're gonna review it at 6 months to see how it's going and see if it should extend
We
beyond
will
that time.
review it, or we'll set
Yeah.
a committee up to do it.
Okay, so I have a motion by Mr. Boda, and everybody understands the motion. I have a second by Mr. Pacelis. So we will start out, and let's go, roll call, Mr. Boda,
Yes,
Mr. Pacelis,
Yes.
Mr. Horn,
No.
Mr. Simons,
Yes,
Mr. Bober.
With the adjustments to the motion, I'll vote yes.
Okay, and I'll also vote yes. So that goes 5-1. It passes. Did you get, who voted that no? Okay. All right.
I'd like to thank the board.
The next thing on the agenda is a memo from myself, and the memo concerns our next board meeting, just for the sake of television and whoever's listening, that our next board meeting is on the 19th. And after the election tomorrow, who's ever elected to office, they take office on the 20th. Well, I'm personally not going to be here on the 19th. I'm going to be gone. And I know Mr. Arnold, our clerk, he's not rerun for office. He's going to be gone. I don't know if Mr. Bober's going to be in the area at all, but he's going to be off the board. So we're going to have 3 new board members. So my suggestion is that we take and change the board meeting from the 19th to the 20th so that the board will start out fresh with a new board and everything in place. I've contacted one of the people that is, one of the trustees that is coming in and who is unopposed, and he said he will be available. And I haven't checked with the people, the 2 clerks, but it would be Mr. Knotts would be the other one that he's unopposed, and we should check with him if you people approve this. But that'd be my suggestion, that we change it from the 19th to the 20th. China Township is doing the same thing.
I so move.
I'll support.
Okay, so I have a motion by Mr. Bober and supported by Mr. Boda that we officially change the meeting, next meeting from the 19th to the 20th. Comments? Questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. We'll have to post that. Do we have to post that in the paper also, or just on the door?
Put on Channel 6 on the door.
Okay. All right, the next thing on the agenda is a letter from Stuart Bove and Whipple, and what it is, it's a document that I wanted to just pass before you people, where they're asking to do the things that they do, come in and review the water rates and things of that nature. They're doing the same thing in China Township, and rather than just okay it, it's not to exceed $6,000, all this extra stuff they're doing. Also in the mail today, I got one that you'll probably get next meeting. It is for the Sewer and Water Authority. That should probably go to the Sewer and Water Authority instead of this board, incidentally. So you should be getting that at the Sewer and Water Authority.
Question.
Well, whoever, somebody in there will get it. Yes.
Do you recall what we spent on that last year?
I think this is basically what we've been spending.
I understand that, but you don't
No, I don't
recall
recall,
what the,
no.
oh,
No.
Jack, you failed me.
I'm sorry. I'm getting older.
Okay, thanks.
So, can I have a motion to approve this so Stuart Bove and Whipple can do this? I have to sign a document and send it back to them.
I'll make a motion that we authorize Stuart Bove and Whipple, which we've done in the past for numerous years, to help us with controlling our water rates.
And what other sundry things?
What's that, Dick?
Pardon?
The sundry things. he was making
Whatever,
reference to.
and the other things they help us with.
Right.
Yeah. I'm
Getting
sorry.
snappy.
All right, you made that motion, Larry?
Yeah.
Can I have a second to that, please?
I'll support that.
I have a motion by Mr. Simon, supported by Mr. Horn. Any other comments or questions? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. I'll send that out to him mucho pronto. The next thing on the agenda is, you have some quotes there for, we're gonna need 3 new computers. And the 3 computers we're needing are, my computer, my laptop is one, we're getting a computer for the supervisor, the new supervisor, and because my laptop's not gonna be used, it's an old laptop now, and that's gonna be changed over and used for the election process. It's gonna be one for election and also one for any other thing that is needed in the office. He would rather have a desktop, and it's about time that gets replaced anyway. The clerk's computer has never been upgraded. In fact, I don't even think it's around there anymore, because Mr. Arnold did not use the computer at all in the office. So when we upgraded, we were trying to be fiscally responsible, so we never really updated it because it wasn't being used. So we figured it wouldn't be a wise choice to do it at that time. And the other one is for this new part-time person that you're going to get, and it's gonna be out in this common area, which also it has not been updated. So when we updated in the past, our office manager was very frugal with the money and decided only update the ones that are being used, so we didn't spend money needlessly in that area. So now we're asking to purchase these 3 new computers. Did I say that sufficiently? Thank you.
So when we bought the computers back 6 months ago, we did not buy these 2
No,
computers.
no, that's correct.
We bought all the rest in the office.
Pardon?
Are they replacing yours?
No, he's getting a desktop.
Okay.
And these are all compatible, so we'll all have Hewlett Packards.
That's the same,
And that's why we just have quotes for the 2.
right.
Both bids have a 3-year warranty on them.
Yep.
Well, one of them is 29 and one is 3,000.
3,000.
Now, I'll ask this question the same as we used to ask our DPW manager when he was getting equipment and stuff. Have we dealt with both these people in the past? And if we have, do you have a preference that you'd like to tell the board about? In other words, sometimes the DPW manager, Roger, used to say, well, this one is not the lowest bid, but I've worked with them before and they do good jobs and I'd rather have them. So that's the option we normally give.
They're both good.
Okay.
IT Right is the company that set up all the BSNA stuff and transfer dollars, so they're very well aware of our needs.
So we should probably go with the low bid then. No reason not to.
Do we have, plans or something we can do with the computer if by chance this extra girl doesn't work out in 6 months? We got a computer that's gonna be, we're getting for her.
Use it as a backup.
We use it as a backup. It's been sitting there as a backup. Jeff Kearns comes in and uses it. Sandy uses it for some things instead of having everything on her computer. So it is used, except it wasn't used, the current one isn't, not being used enough to really upgrade it. So, but now it's the point where it has to be upgraded, even if we don't get this person.
So this one's out in Casco Township, and this one's Bath, Michigan.
So I need
I noticed one of them is local and the other one is over from Bath, Michigan. So maybe the board might want to consider that too.
well, the one that is local,
Yes.
well, they're actually in Casco Township. They're local, but just by miles. They aren't local in the community.
And you've dealt with IT Right before?
We used to have high-tech years ago. When I first came into office, we were dealing with high-tech.
Yeah, part of it.
And
Yeah,
for
I
whatever
think they-
reason, I don't know what it was, we went to another firm, so. But they were a good firm too, but, so I would suggest that we go with a low bid and be done with it.
Bigger monitor too.
I need a motion.
I hate to buy my own, but, I'll make a motion that we buy the 3 computers.
Supported.
From IT, right?
IT Right, low bid at $2,900.
Okay. I have a motion by Mr. Simons and, supported by Mr. Bober. Any other comments or questions? If not, I know that.
This last meeting, he gets a little bit snippy with us,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
So, Mr. Simons,
Yes,
Mr. Bober,
Yes.
Mr. Boda,
Yes.
Mr. Pacellis?
Yes.
Mr. Horn?
Yes.
Mr. Randolph, yes. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, no, thank you.
The last thing on the agenda, before we go to our resolutions, is we have gotten the award from the Road Commission to do Point Drive. And the award that we got $100,000 match money. And it cost $222,000 to do, so we have to come up with $122,387.
Between now and when?
Between now and when they do it. I've already budgeted $122,000.
Okay.
Is in the budget. It will be done next year incidentally, in the year 2013. The same year that they'll be doing the bridge. I applied
The
for.
bridge and the road both will be completed next year.
Yes, yes. I don't know if I tried to talk to Kurt Weston about timing. They don't have that in place yet, but one of them is gonna be done, probably the bridge will be done in the spring and the road will be done in the fall, as we look at it. We did not get any matching money for the bridge, but we've got $60,000 in the budget for the bridge. That's gonna be our share, okay? But we didn't get any match money for that.
It takes so long to build a bridge, that's the only thing I'm wondering.
It's going to be, to build the bridge is gonna be unable to be used for at least 2 months. So, I mean, that's what they tell me so far, so. But the Point Drive, is gotta be all resurfaced and everything, and so I have to get this document back to the Road Commission. The reason it's brought is because there's been townships that have said, we wanna do this, they've got matching funds, and when they went to the board, after they've been awarded it, the board said, look, we really can't do that because something else has come up, and they've had to back out and say, thank you, Road Commission, except we can't do it, so they've lost those funds. So, as a formality and as procedure, I'm bringing it to you to okay the budget amount that we have set aside, and plus accepting the idea that Point Drive is gonna be done.
question.
Sir?
Could you relay to Mr. Weston that it would be appreciated if we could coordinate this road with the bridge and
They won't do it at the same time.
Right, but I wanna do the bridge and then the road, not the road and then the bridge.
I think the bridge is gonna be done first, and I think the
Right,
road's
that's-
gonna be done probably in late
'Cause
summer.
We'll have a lot of flack if we do the road, they tear it all up to do the bridge.
No, we won't have a lot of flack.
We'll have a lot of,
Have fun, will ya?
so you could pass that along to Mr. West.
I will tell them to keep it separate. Is that what you're saying? And
Well,
do the
no, I'm
bridge
trying to tell
first.
them to keep it coordinated so that the bridge is done and then we come in and do the
Do
road.
the road right, so they don't have to tear it up so long.
I'll have a conversation, see what we can do.
Okay, thank you.
But I can't tell them how to do their.
I know
Okay,
that, but
all right.
I said a
I know,
suggestion.
and I appreciate that.
You
So,
want a motion
yes,
to
I-
accept?
Yes, I do, sir.
As presented. So moved.
And I need a second to that.
Support.
A motion by Mr. Bober, supported by Mr. Boda. I do not need, well, I guess I should have a roll call because we are spending money. So, therefore, any other comments or questions? If not, Mr. Bober,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Boda,
Yes.
Mr. Pacelli?
Yes.
Mr. Horn?
Yes.
Mr. Simons?
Yes.
Mr. Randolph, yes. That, gentleman, concludes our regular business, except for the resolutions that we have to do in order for the budget. Would you like to take that resolution, please, sir? Which one you doing, 12?
12.
So?
Resolution adopting the 2013 budget for the General Fund, Capital Projects Fund, Special Revenue Fund, and Debt Service Fund. Whereas, under the provisions of the Uniform Budgeting and Accounting Act 621 of 1978 for local units of government in Michigan, all budgets for the General Fund, Capital Projects Fund, Special Revenue Fund, and Debt Service Fund must be adopted by the legislative body, which is the East China Charter Township Board of Trustees. Excuse me. And whereas the East China Charter Township Supervisor hereby submits and recommends the adoption of the 2013 budgets for the General Fund, Capital Projects Fund, Special Revenue Fund, and the Debt Service Fund, with the copies attached, in accordance with the Uniform Budgeting and Accounting Act, Public Act 621 of 1978. The Capital Budgets Fund is Township Improvement Fund, the Special Revenue Fund is the Building Inspection Department Fund, and the Debt Service Fund is the 1999 Water Plant Improvement Debt Fund. And whereas a public hearing on the proposed 2013 budgets was held in East China Charter Township on November the 5th, 2012. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the above recommended 2013 general fund budget, the Capital Projects Fund budget, the Special Revenue Fund budget, the Debt Service Fund budget, be adopted in compliance with the State of Michigan Public Act 621 of 1978, which amends Public Act 2 of 1968, entitled the Uniform Budgeting and Accounting Act. I move for its adoption.
Okay, do I have support for that?
I'll support it.
Okay, I got a resolution offered by Mr. Bobers and supported by Mr. Pacelli. No other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Who would like to take 13 and 212, or 2012?
I'll take it.
Go ahead.
Resolution number 13, 2012, Charter Township of East China, St. Clair, County of St. Clair, Michigan. Resolution adopting the 2013 budget for the Township Capital Projects Fund. Whereas under the provisions of the Uniform Budgeting and Accounting Act 621 of 1978 for local units of governments in Michigan, the 2013 budget for the Township Capital Project Fund must be adopted by the legislative body, which is the East China Charter Township Board of Trustees. And whereas the East China Charter Township Board Supervisor hereby submits and recommends the adoption of the 2013 Township Capital Projects Fund with a levy of .8046 mils, the copies are attached, in accordance with the Uniform Budgeting and Accounting Act, PA 621 of 1978, and whereas a public hearing on the proposed 2013 budget was held in East China Charter Township Hall on November 5th, 2012. Now therefore be it resolved that the above recommended 2013 Township Capital Projects Fund budget be adopted in compliance with the State of Michigan Public Act 621 of 1978, which amends PA 2 of 1968 entitled the Uniform Budgeting and Accounting Act. All resolutions and parts of resolutions insofar as they conflict with the provisions of this resolution be and the same hereby are rescinded.
I propose, do I have support?
Okay, I'll support.
Okay, I have a resolution proposed by Mr. Pacellis and supported by Mr. Boda. Comments or questions on it? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Those two resolutions will be signed and going into effect. Thank you very much. We're down to the point of announcement. Township offices will be closed Monday, November 12th for Veterans Day. Township offices will be closed Thursday and Friday, November 22nd and 23rd for Thanksgiving. The regular township meeting for November 19th has been moved till November 20th at 7:30, same time, same place. So that's the announcements, and now we will go into comments. Mr. Boda.
I have none, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Pacellis.
Well, seeing this is going to be our last meeting with Richard and Jack, I want to thank both of you for your many years of service, commitment, and dedication to this township. You've guided us and taken us in the right direction for many, many years. I also want to thank both of you for the knowledge that you've given me and helped me out as a trustee when I came in. I wish you both the best of luck. Jack, we've had this talk before. It's your time. Enjoy Lois, your grandkids, your son. Richard, have fun. You know, don't worry about us. We'll still be here. We'll still be doing our work.
We'll be watching you.
Yeah, okay. And I know you're gonna still help us out in any way that you can and be part of our, the township. But again, both of you, I wanna thank you both very much and good luck in your retirement.
Thank you, Angelo.
Thank you.
Richard, who?
Mr. Horn.
I have to sort of concur with Angelo, but I have another one. I voted absentee this year for the first time, and I can't tell you when. And on the absentee, after reading the instructions, it says place your ballot in the secrecy sleeve, if any. And it says if a secrecy sleeve is not provided, refold the ballot to conceal your votes. This is a two-sided ballot. It's impossible to conceal it, and it should have been in a sleeve. And I'm recommending that this board go ahead and in any future elections, use the sleeve.
That is used when you vote, but
that's for
the sleeve is actually, if you want
It's
to,
like an
terminology,
envelope.
it's the envelope you put it in, correct? When you put it in
Yes.
the envelope, that's your secrecy sleeve.
That's right.
Right.
And you put that envelope in the envelope that you return. Then when they take it out, they take the envelope and they tear the thing off and put the envelope off to the side.
I don't know how they do it.
Then they still have to pull the ballot out, Don, and put it in one of these, which is a secrecy sleeve they use to process ballots. So
That's
whether that little sleeve is in there or not, they still have to remove it from that little envelope and stick it in here, because it has to go flat into the machine.
But when they do that, it's a two-sided ballot. They can see your
Right.
votes.
Well, they're not,
They're not
Don, they have to
concealed.
process over 850 ballots tomorrow. They're not gonna have time, nor do they care about looking at people's
I
ballots.
called the county, and the county said they highly recommend using that sleeve.
Yep, we had a couple
Then I
people
called
request
somewhere
that.
else. I made
Now,
some-
Don, if I'm not mistaken, I read my absentee ballot all the way through from top to bottom. And even when the county's sending instructions and that, they still say if you have a secrecy ballot, if any, they even state if any,
if any, a sleeve,
so.
but it says fold
It's
your
never
ballot
been
to
stressed
conceal
to
your
the
votes.
clerks. Some have them, some don't, but we have had a few requests this year, so we'll be happy to order those. It's not an issue. But really, truly, that little extra sleeve in there, they're still gonna be pulled out of there, and it goes right into here. They don't look at it, they remove it, put it right in here, tear the stub off, it gets processed with the whole pile.
But there's no way to fold this two-sided ballot to conceal your vote, that's all.
I think, Don, our next
And if you
clerk that
use
we
the sleeve,
have,
it'll
who
cut-
it may be, we'll
it'll
pass that
solve all
on
the
to them at our
problems.
next meeting.
Right. It's a
You
good
know, to
solution.
take to the next clerk's meeting, you'll be on the board, we'll be able to pass that along to the next clerk
Okay,
to,
but just something I read the instructions and it didn't fit with me, so
Anything else, Mr. Horn?
that's it, that's all I have.
Mr. Boulder?
To the residents of East China, it's been my pleasure working for you over the last 8 years. And let me say to this board, it's been my pleasure working with all of you taking care of our community's business. Thanks very much.
Is that all you have, sir?
That's it.
Mr.
Good luck
Simons?
to you, Richard.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Mr. Bober, I mean, for all the years, all the mentoring he's done, me sitting next to him here. He's made some very wise decisions, as everybody on this board has made. We all get along really well, we have a lot of disagreements, but when we get up and leave, we're still friends. I think we conduct our business in the township how it should be. You know, everybody has their opinion, you represent different facets of the community. And then to Jack, I mean, for the many, many years of service that he's had here, and guiding us through where we're at today. We have a balanced budget. We have some money in the bank. It's not that the township is flat broke, you know, which we need to have money. We gotta have a savings account. And especially the last few months, he's mentored me to helping me get to where I think I can take this over and do it. We're still gonna be making mistakes, and hopefully Jack and Richard, I have their phone numbers. I can call them. With the cell phones now, it doesn't matter where they're at, I'll get hold of them. I'd just like to give a thank you to both of you, and also Gary Arnold too, for all his years of service here too. You know, I know he's not here, but.
I should back up on my comments too. Same thing Larry just said.
Yeah. Well, I know the community really appreciates both of yous, and especially the whole state, Jack, with you with the MTA and that. I know you're well represented throughout the state. Your name is well known. It's just a big thank you from the township and the residents and myself personally and the board.
Thank you, Larry. I'd like to echo some of the stuff that Richard said about thanking the residents for the confidence they put into us, me particularly, and the rest of the board, the confidence they've given us and the support they've given us. And I've enjoyed the job tremendously. I've enjoyed this board. They've harassed me, they've joked with me, and they've cajoled me, but it's all been fun. And we've kept the board that way, to be very informal and very attractive for the people to come in and speak to us. But as you've seen in the last newsletter, it's time. Everybody realizes at some point in their life it's time to go on, time to move on. Well, I realized it was time. I love the job, but it is time. It's time for me to enjoy my family, enjoy my grandchildren, and enjoy the rest of my life. So I'd just like to say thank you, and I appreciate everything that people have done. And thank this board. I want to say every one of you, thank you very much. So, that being said, Mr. Simons, would you like to, no, not Mr. Simons.
Adjourn at 8:28.
You'll adjourn the meeting tonight.
No, they don't let me do that.
I'll support that.
What, me adjourn, oh, what time did you say, sir?
8:28.
8:28,
almost
supported by Mr.
29
Bober. By 8:29, all right. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.